is enough said.
Happy Thursday, Heat Nation. Your boy Ernest here. Back with another Miami Heat Talk video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. You guys, we pushing to 6,000 subscribers. Thank y'all so much for the support. And now, let's go on another Miami Heat Talk adventure. The Heat got a game tonight against the Utah Jazz. So I'm really excited for this one because the Jazz are tanking. The last time we played against the Jazz, they whooped our ass. Beat us by 36 points on our home floor. So it's time to get some revenge and pay them back. Now, I'll be real with y'all. I really feel like the biggest reason why the Miami Heat lost that particular game was because of all the distractions with the Jimmy Butler trade rumors. That was the first game that we had after the Jimmy Butler trade request. So if you ask me, that game against Utah, everybody was in their head, everybody was in their feelings, whatever it was. But I'm not here trying to make excuses because I know the Miami Heat team are going to come out today and they're going to come out ready to ball. I expect a big game from Tyler Hero, a better game from Bam Adebayo. The last game against Utah, he had 4 points. What the hell is that? Nah. You need Bam to be Bam Adebayo. You need Jaime Jaquez to take over that Jimmy Butler role. Nikola Jovic is doing his thing. Kel'el Ware needs to be a monster off the bench. Spo needs to play Alec Burks off the bench to be that microwave. We need a better performance from Terry Rozier. Terry Rozier, it is time to step the F up, bro. None of this 9-point games. Jimmy ain't playing right now. Terry Rozier needs to be unleashed. So these games that he's having, it's not only bad for us, but it's diminishing his value. So if a trade possibility were to come up, the only thing that you'd have to sell for Terry is that his contract expires next year. So we need Terry to step up. Duncan Robinson's got to have a big game. We need a big game from all fronts. So I'm predicting a Miami Heat dub tonight. And a dub is very important, you guys, because right now, after Indiana's win last night, it bumps up Indiana to the 6th seed. We are literally in a 3-way tie for the 7th seed with the Detroit Pistons and the Atlanta Hawks. Detroit and Atlanta are 19 and 18. The Miami Heat are 18 and 17. 3-way tie. So the Heat need to win tonight. Now, you're still fighting for the 4th seed. The Miami Heat are literally 2.5 games down from the 4th seed. The 4th seed is very attainable. And I feel that this Miami Heat team, with or without Jimmy Butler, can still be a team that does not make the play-in. This Eastern Conference is so tight. Now look, Cleveland is head and shoulders above everyone in the East. Boston's got that 2nd seed locked. New York's got that 3rd seed locked. They're only 3 games above Orlando in the 4th seed, but it looks like a little bit of a lock right now. It's not like if they lose one game, they'll go out of the 3rd seed. So the Heat need to fight. The good news is we got a lot of basketball to play. We've only played 35 games this season. There's a lot more basketball left to play. So the Miami Heat, if they can get things in the right order where we're at right now, we can turn things around. Now, in order to get things the right way, we need to know what this roster is going to be. Are we going to have Jimmy Butler? Are we not going to have Jimmy Butler? That's the question. January 15th, the game against the Los Angeles Lakers, is the final game of Jimmy Butler's suspension. It's the final game of this West Coast road trip that we're doing. So if Jimmy Butler is not traded by the 15th, I said this yesterday on my video, you guys, the Miami Heat fully expect Jimmy Butler to return back to the Miami Heat and be ready to play. Just because a player requests a trade does not mean that player will get traded. I said this before in previous videos. Look at the situation with Scottie Pippen with the Chicago Bulls. Multiple situations during the first championship title run, during the 94-95 season before Jordan came back, during the 98 season. There were multiple times where Scottie Pippen requested a trade from the Chicago Bulls and did not get traded and still won. So here's the thing, you guys. This is a business. It's kind of like when you go to work. When we wake up every morning and we go to our jobs, We don't have to like everybody we work with. But when we're there and we punch in, doesn't matter whether we like each other or not, we do our jobs. That's exactly the same thing with this Miami Heat team. You may not love Pat Riley, Jimmy Butler. You may not love the situation, but you're getting paid $48 million to play basketball this season. So when you're there, play. And I believe that that's what Jimmy Butler will do. Now, I'm honestly starting to feel, you guys, excuse me, that Jimmy Butler will come back to the Miami Heat. If you asked me a few days ago, I was like 99% sure that Jimmy would be traded. Now, it's 50-50. I really believe that. There's a possibility that we can wake up one day or we're all at work one day and we just get a Shams bomb that Jimmy Butler's been traded. But the more time that goes by, the more that makes me feel that Jimmy Butler is not going to be traded. Because Jimmy wants to go to Phoenix. That's what's going on. Jimmy wants to go to Phoenix for one reason and one reason only: money. If anybody thinks for a second that the main reason Jimmy wants to go to Phoenix is because he feels that they can win a championship, you're fooling yourself. Yes, Phoenix will give him an opportunity to contend with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. But at the end of the day, Jimmy and Kevin Durant are both in their mid-30s. One slip, one injury, bam, season over. But the real reason Jimmy wants to go to Phoenix is because the owner is filthy rich. He is willing to give Jimmy Butler the 2-year, $113 million contract extension that he wants. But I think that the Miami Heat right now, you guys, they're not really looking at a trade as necessary now. They can still wait to the offseason and pull a sign and trade. They don't have to trade Jimmy now. They were willing. The Heat have been listening to offers. There was a big report that came out yesterday that I want to talk about, you guys. This was posted by Big Heat Energy. Now, this was not confirmed by Ira Winderman, Ethan Skolnick, or any, ESPN, but the reason why that this post makes a lot of sense to me is because a few days ago, the Memphis Grizzlies shot up as the team with the best odds to trade for Jimmy Butler. Las Vegas predicted that the Memphis Grizzlies are the team that will most likely get Jimmy Butler, and all of us thought, why? That makes no sense. Out of nowhere, Memphis just comes up. Vegas must know something that we don't know. And it was reported yesterday. And I'm going to read this by quote by Big Heat Energy. Turns out the Miami Heat had a 3-team deal basically done with Memphis and an unknown third team. So Jimmy told Shams, anybody but Miami, just to disrespect and embarrass us. Now, he's killing the flexibility by trade demanding to Phoenix only. End quote. See, that's very interesting. That is very interesting because it's true. Jimmy did say anywhere but Miami. Then Milwaukee and Memphis came up and Jimmy's camp immediately contacts the team and tells them if you trade for Jimmy, he will not sign a contract extension. Basically, he's killing this whole trade process. So that's why, ladies and gentlemen, I feel that Jimmy Butler will not be traded. I mean, I said earlier 50-50. I still believe that. But if you want me to be honest, you guys, I'm actually leaning more towards 70-30. Is there a chance that Jimmy gets traded? Absolutely. There's a huge chance that he gets traded. But the likeliness of Jimmy Butler being traded with all of this situations going on, I doubt it. So I feel that this is just to give Jimmy Butler time away from the Heat. Of course, they gave him the suspension because you're going on the road trip. He requests a trade. You want to try to find a suitors. You send him home for 7 games. Try to figure this out. Let it bleed. All the offers that are coming in are trash. Why would you do that? Makes no sense. There's no way I want to take Bradley Beal's terrible 3-year contract. So that's it. It's done. If we couldn't get this trade out to Memphis, I think it's dead in the water. I think the Miami Heat and Pat Riley are counting their losses and they're thinking, okay, we have until February 6th. If somebody comes up with a big offer before then, we'll do it. But as of now, I think the Miami Heat are expecting Jimmy Butler to come back to this team. And like I mentioned in the last couple videos, you guys, it is important for for the Miami Heat to make the 2025 playoffs. I know that Pat Riley and them know this. So what it seems like to me is let this thing die down, because as we all know, time heals wounds. So you're going to let this blow over. Jimmy Butler will report back. I'm sure Jimmy and Pat and Jimmy's agent will have a sit down with Spo. They'll have a sit down. They'll air out. They'll say, hey, we couldn't find a trade partner for you. Let's ride off to this season. Let's see what happens. Increase your value. Show people that you are still in your prime. Show people that you still are himmy. Let's get to the playoffs so we have protection with our draft picks in the future. And then in the offseason, we'll try to find a trade partner for you. Because let's be real, you guys. Doesn't matter how old Jimmy Butler is. If Jimmy Butler takes this Miami Heat team on another beautiful playoff run, guaranteed he's going to get the money he wants. Whether it's from Miami or whether it's from another team. I said this going into the season. I said this during the offseason. This is the year where we will truly find out where this Miami Heat team is going to go. If Jimmy Butler can lead this Miami Heat team on another Cinderella run, an Eastern Conference Finals, or possibly an NBA Finals trip, then I'm sure the Miami Heat will have a talk with him about an extension. Why not? But if not, if this team loses in the first or second round, then the writing's on the wall. You can either let Jimmy Butler walk in free agency, or remember, you guys, the Heat can still do a sign and trade. The Miami Heat still have flexibility here. Teams are not going to have money this offseason to give Jimmy the money he wants. Only Brooklyn. So if Jimmy wants to get paid the way he wants to get paid, he needs to play ball with Miami. Because the only way that can happen is with a sign and trade. So I want to hear from you, Heat Nation. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you think about this report for Memphis about the 3-team deal? Do you believe it? Do you think it's crap? Let me know in the comments what you think. And do you guys feel that Jimmy Butler will be back with the Miami Heat team, or do you think he'll be traded? Don't forget to like the video. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel as we push for 6,000 subscribers. Thank y'all so much for the continued support. Until next time, your boy Ernest out, and that's enough said. Let's go Heat.